Hello and welcome! This is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more Civilization 6, returning to my Mouseazuma playthrough. And in between this video and the last, I realized that now that I'm creating a wonder here, if I were to go over to my policies... Oh, okay, so I can't do that free policy change any other time other than the very turn that I unlock a new group of policies, it looks like. Alright, well... because if I go here, it would actually cost me money. So I was thinking about taking this policy here, which gives me plus 15% production toward ancient classical wonders. But now that I think about it, I don't know if that would actually necessarily help me. Unless I am misunderstanding how the bonus works. If I were to come back here and come to the city, all the production that I'm producing right now is 10.5. And if I were to remove the 1 that I'd be getting from the current policy bonus, that would be 9.5. And 15% of 9.5 would be, you know, roughly about 1. Maybe I'd get 1.5. So at best, we'd be producing 11 production. So is that worth 45 gold to get maybe half of a production point at best, if not even that? Now, I could wait until I get my next civic, which I'm actually currently working on, which is a new government. Because I could take another government type. So the next government types that I'd have would be one of these. Now, if I took this wouldn't really help because I'd have 2 military policies, 1 economic policy, and then a wild card. Oligarchy would just be, it looks like 1 of each, giving me also whatever the green policy is, as well as the wild card. And then a classical republic would give me 2 economics, so I could do the +1 production and the plus 15%. But I think for my civilization, I'd much rather have the 2 military policies, so I'd probably go with autocracy instead of classical republic, but those are things I could do. All right, well, let's go ahead and go through who we've got here. So we've got a couple more units needing orders. So we've got this unit, but I believe I already moved this unit. So more than likely, I'm going to wait until next turn to move this unit out of the city, because moving them now is no different than if I move them next turn, because if I move these guys over here, which is the only place they can currently legally go, then they would move over here, and then they could move out. Whereas if next turn I move them here, it'd be the same as if I had moved them here, right? So no point in moving them now. So who else do we need orders for? This unit here. So I think what we had to decide was, do we keep the warrior in this area to protect against barbarians, maybe hunt down where the barbarians are, although I don't know if 1 warrior could take out a barbarian camp by themselves. Or I take the barbarian and I send him over in the war effort against the Congo, which is over here, which I actually might need them in that case. All right, we'll send them out. And that should be pretty much it for units that need to move. So really, I just need to tell this guy to fortify. There might be a builder somewhere that could theoretically move. Yeah, see, this guy here has movement points. But what would I have him do? Nothing comes to mind right now. I mean, we have so many builders, but not really anything for them to do. I can't improve desert spaces as far as I know, unless they're maybe adjacent to a river. We could maybe see next turn. No, see, these guys have movement points. I wake them up. They can't improve anything, even though there looks like there's a river here. So, really, I have all these workers, but nothing really for them to do. If this was like the previous Civilization games, I'd be building roads like mad. But it's not the previous Civilization game. You don't build roads that way. So, I have pretty much all of the improvements that I can build at the moment. The only question is, can you use a worker to help with a wonder build? I don't know. So we'll see that in a second. Okay, I'm not sure what that was about. Who's a society you emulate? Art, sciences? What don't you have? So he's just letting me know that he likes people that have better tech than he does. So he's just letting us know, yep, that's the case. So we should be on good terms with each other. You don't have anything to worry about from me.
Politics is the art of the possible, the attainable, the art of the next best.
Okay, so now we have an opportunity not only to change my government, but also to change my policies. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Okay, so we can take autocracy, oligarchy, or classical republic. I would be either autocracy or oligarchy, so let's go ahead and take a look at our policies. So if we go with oligarchy, we can get the diplomatic ones, which we couldn't get if we went with autocracy, unless wildcard lets you take anything, but I have a feeling that wildcard is these purple ones in particular. So the first envoy you send to each city-state counts as 2 envoys. Not really useful now, because the only other city-state we have, we already sent an envoy to. Charismatic leader, plus 2 influence points per turn toward earning city-state envoys. So we'd get envoys quicker. That sounds useful. That is if we want to continue dealing with the city-states. Okay, so nothing really screaming out to me that I need it, though. Now, as far as the military ones, we're currently using this one. I like this one. We also have unit maintenance reduced. The only ones that actually this would apply to would be the archers, because our Eagle Warriors have no maintenance, as far as I could tell. We have double experience for recon units. That could always be useful, but we only have 1 scout unit. And plus 5 combat strength versus barbarians. Well, that's useful too, but not as useful as it might have been. But if I were to take another one, I'd probably take discipline, because right now that sounds like the most useful. Let's see. As far as the economic ones, I think I'd only get a choice of 1, and I probably would stick with what we have, because I like producing things at a faster rate. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and choose our government. I'm going to go with autocracy because I don't like the 2 military things. I think that will be useful for later. Your people are enthusiastic to try this new form of government. Confirm the switch. Yes. Now, there might be a period of anarchy. I think I read that. So I might be a little bit in trouble. So we do have wild cards. So we have plus 2 great profit points per turn, or plus 2 great scientist points per turn. Well, those are practically the same thing, but I'm actually gaining research. Oh, I'm gaining faith too. See, I actually probably want to go with the great profit, because it seems like research-wise we're doing just fine. So I'm going to go great profit here. And then with the military, I already talked about doing discipline. So we'll do that. So we've got our policies. Now, once we unlock more policies, we should be okay. Capital receives plus 1 boost to all yields, and then plus 10% bonus on wonder production. See, I didn't even pay attention to that, but that actually is useful to us right now. And then legacy bonuses, we get more wonder production, I guess, the longer that we are in autocracy. I didn't really look at the bonuses, so more great people points. All cities within the district receive 1 plus 1 amenity. That would have been useful to us, actually, now that I think about it. And then we have all land, okay, plus 4 combat strength, and then plus 20% experience for combat units. All right, so I should have looked at the bonuses in retrospect, but I still am going to take autocracy just because of the more combat-oriented policy choices. All right, now we have to choose our civic. And we can go for more military civics now that we have more slots. So we go here, we get maneuver military. This gives us production bonuses to ancient and classical era cavalry, which I really don't need right now, but it could be useful later. And then we have plus 2 points per great general per turn. Probably would be useful. Then we have games and recreation. So we have Coliseum. I think this might be a specific building for our empire. So building replaces arena. Okay. And it gives us 2 faith, +1 amenity for entertainment, and +1 great general point per turn. And then, okay, entertainment complex. So that's +1 amenity. But I don't think the amenities, is it the amenities or luxury in specific that gives us the bonus? I thought it was just amenities. And then this we have a policy that gives us more housing. Okay. And then we have amphitheater, theater square, and literary tradition. Okay. And then eventually we could get military training if we go down this path, which gives us yields gained from pillaging are doubled for pillaging improvements. And then plus 30% production towards encampment districts and buildings from that district. So of all the things I can do right now with my civics, the one that really jumps out at me is actually this one, games and recreation, because we get our special building here. So we'll do that. Okay. Now it's time to move units. All right, so I would like to move this guy in here. Just swap out this guy, which is exactly what I wanted to happen. I've got so many workers here. I just don't know what to do with them. Well, you, my friend, are going to go ahead and range attack this guy. And then the scout is going to... I don't want him getting mowed down, so I'll put him in the forest over here. Which, if I remember, he has a bonus to moving through forests anyway because of the way I upgraded him. Yeah, faster movement in woods and rainforest. So he's fine moving through the rainforest, so I might be able to get through here. But even if I don't, forests offer more protection than just being out in the open, so... I think that's a better idea. And as far as my warriors go, I figure just probably have a worker here too many. So guess I'll just move that worker over here. Okay, now you can probably... No. Do I have more workers here? How many workers are in this space? Okay, well, worker number 2. Go over this way. There we go. I was having a hard time getting the warrior selected. I wonder if that's part of the bug I was seeing earlier. Alright, so the scout's good. Send this worker on through. How much would it cost? More than I have to buy this tile. Okay, well, that's fine. You come on over this way. Okay, you're gonna take your promotion. Now that you're a little bit safer. So you've already taken Battle Cry. So we can do Commando can scale cliff walls, or Tortoise, +10 combat strength when defending against ranged attacks. I like that idea. because it might be useful for the future. But what else we've got here? +7 combat strength versus anti-cavalry units. Or no combat strength and movement penalty when attacking from sea or a river, so that's amphibious. And then urban warfare, +10 combat strength when fighting in a district. And then finally, elite guard, +1 additional attack return if movement allows. Can move after attacking. I'm going to go ahead and take commando here, because I want to get down to elite guard quickly. I don't know how often cliff walls will actually play in, but we'll take it nonetheless. And then that guy should be pretty much ready to go. We don't have anyone else that has a promotion that they're waiting on, as far as I know. So I think next turn, I'll be ready to send out several warriors. I'll probably send this warrior into the city to protect the city. But these 3 warriors, I think I'll just send on their way next turn. So what other unit needs orders? We've got the worker who's just going to sleep. And we've got this worker who's going to sleep. Okay, so let's go ahead and go on to the next turn. Can't really trust these guys and what they're going to do. They could be trying to snipe my workers here. Alright, so our archer has another shot at this guy. Okay, they got a promotion. Alright, so let's just come on through jungle here. And it's going to be up to the scout to scout out this stuff and know where we're going to need to attack. And we might get some luxury resources for our empire here by taking some cities. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and move on through this way. And you are going to come over... What is this? Oh, name unit. Okay. Okay, worker, you go up that way. You come over this way. I don't really trust that warrior over there, so I'm going to have my workers kind of come over this way so they're a little bit out of the line of fire. Oop, well, that's okay. Alright, let's see if we can improve this. Do anything with this? Doesn't look like it. I'm just going to have my worker hang out over here. Okay, and then finally we have this guy who we're going to hop into the city to protect it. Alright, that should be good. On to the next turn. Okay, so he's offering me even more gold than he was before. 7 gold for 30 turns. 7 gold a turn for 30 turns, and then 19 gold on top of that. I'm going to continue to refuse his deal because I know I can take a city from him. I want him to be desperate. I might only take 1 city from him, leave his capital alone.
Spiritually as well as physically bigger than a man on foot.
All right. We got horseback riding. Let's go ahead and choose our next attack. All right, so we have a bonus to engineering, which gives us catapult and aqueduct. Ironworking gives us swordsman, who finally has more combat strength than our eagle warriors, so not really necessarily keen on rushing that tech. We've got currency, which gives us a market which gives us number of things, and then commercial hub, and then we have celestial navigation. So we've got lighthouses, great lighthouse, and a harbor. Probably should take this, honestly, because of the harbor, which our capital should be able to take advantage of. And your city also removes the movement penalty for embarking and disembarking to and from this tile. Must be built on a coast or lake terrain adjacent to land. The +1 trade route capacity. It gives you gold and other things. Okay, let's go ahead and do this one. Somehow we ended up way over there. Okay. And we need to choose production over here. I don't actually know what we were producing. Was it a wall, probably? No, Eagle Warrior completed. So where did the Eagle Warrior we completed go? Did it go in the city? Probably. Or maybe they're both over here. I don't know. We'll see where they are in a second. Okay, so I don't know if we need to keep producing military units at this point. So why don't we think about just building other things? So what can we improve here? We can do a water mill, which gives us food and production. And any rice and wheat also gets more food. We don't have any rice or wheat. That would actually improve over here much better. Alternatively, we could do an encampment, which makes our military units that we build here more useful. Or we could do a battering ram, which will help us with the siege. You know what? I'm actually thinking about doing that. Doing the battering ram, because we are at war here. I don't know if the battering ram gets upgraded to the catapult, as we saw. But Ancient Era support unit, when adjacent to a city, attacking melee units, do full damage to the city's walls. So it's a very specialist character. Alternatively, I take the heavy chariot. I don't have horsemen yet because I don't have horses. I need 2 horses to train this type of unit. If the city has encampment, you only need 1 horse. Horses are having more combat strength, it looks like, than my Eagle Warriors as well. So it'd be good if I could get one of those, right? Alright, I'll just go ahead and do Watermill for now, because I don't have anything screaming out at me to do. And I think this city can benefit from the production bonus. Okay, let's go ahead and get our scout working here. So I'm going to move through the jungle here, a forest, to keep a good defensive bonus. So we got mostly open terrain here into the city, which I can't actually read. Okay, you come on down. I guess we can just cross into the jungle, because that's going to be the quicker way of getting in here. And then we'll have you go on down this way. I'm confused. Does that number 2 mean that there are 2 units here? And I moved both of them? Or does it mean he's leveled up twice? I'm not sure where the unit I just produced, where they ended up. Okay, so we'll have you hop into the city. And all the other workers just sleep. You're fine where you are. Alright, we'll have you come on down this way. I'm not sure how much I trust the Russians to not attack one of my workers. So I'm going to move this worker somewhere where they can't be attacked. And you just sleep. Archer, promotion. Okay, so we already have garrison, plus 10 combat strength when occupying a district or fort. We can do plus 5 range strength versus land units, plus 7 range strength versus district defenses, that's incendiaries. Or I think volley for sure, because that gets the combat strength up, which makes the archer much more powerful for defending. And ideally, we'd want to get an archer over here, so maybe I should have done that as my production. We'll get it eventually. Alright, so it looks like we're ready. I'm still not really sure. It said that I produced an Eagle Warrior, but I have no idea where that Eagle Warrior ended up. Because it definitely wasn't this guy, and it definitely wasn't this guy, so where the heck did it go? Unless I just misread what the previous production was. Alright, well, it probably was the Ancient Walls, because I remember working on that, and we have them in both of these cities here. Well, let's go ahead and go on to the next turn nonetheless. Yeah, see, these Russians, I just don't really trust them with the fact that they're so close to my workers. I don't want them to be within striking distance of a worker so that they, can just easily capture one. So I'm going to be moving this guy so that he can't be captured this turn. This guy should be fine where he is, because they have to move into here or here. If they move here, then I'm starting to get suspicious of what they're up to. Alright, fine. We'll move this guy over there. We'll move... Oh, I hate that. I hate that it does that. I had this guy clicked on, and it switched over to the scout before I could... Alright, well, I'm just going to have to get used to that it does that. It hops around like that automatically, because sometimes I try and auto-select who I want to move, and then it hops to another unit, because I just finished a move. Even though I selected the character that I want to move, it hops to the next character, and I was right-clicking to get that character to move, the one that I wanted to move, and it hopped to another unit that could move. I really hate that it does that. There might be a way of me turning it off, because it's honestly starting to drive me crazy. Well, let's get in to the city here. I might get attacked, but I doubt it. Because if they actually attack me outside the city, they should be at worse combat strength than I am. Alright, workers, you break away and go over here. And then you cross the river. Alright, it's not a big deal, but it is definitely frustrating. Alright, and you're going to come on down there. And you are going to fortify. And you are going to sleep. Okay, we're ready for the next turn. Okay, so... we'll move these guys over here. Move these guys. Go ahead and move the scout up here so we can see what's over here. Oh wow, this is just full of luxury resources. I'm definitely going to capture this city. And we'll move you into this here. And you're just going to sleep. And we'll do the same here. Sleep. Sleep. See, that's what I'm talking about. There's such a delay in between when it switches to the next character that you can move, that it's theoretically possible to select another unit and then just about click to get them to move before it actually switches over. All right, so you're gonna... come over here so we can cross you over the river. And I don't know if time's right now to attack here. I don't see a reason. Well, the reason I wouldn't is because I think if this guy just fortifies and sits here, then he'll continue to regenerate every time I attack him, and my guys won't. So probably the best move here is just to fortify until I get more units in here and I can really punish this guy. Alright, so we'll go on to the next turn. And honestly, I think this is a good point to actually put a cut in the video. So let's end the turn here. Alright, see, I don't like that. Alright, refuse the deal. I don't want peace. I want to definitely capture that city because it's just full of luxury resources. Okay, well, in any case, as I said, I think this is a good point to go ahead and put a cut in the video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.